Right, hello. Belief in God. What is it? And is it complicated? What do you need to do? Do you need to attend church? Do you need to be taught by a priest? What do you need? What do you need to know? Well, basically, a testimony of someone that's had experience of it is the best thing. If you get somebody just teaching or preaching somewhere, using the Bible or whatever he's using, it's just a teaching. They could have just got that at college, and pretty much a lot of people say very different things. The main message is the same, but it's all college taught, and I wouldn't like to rest on that. I first called out God for help on a few things, and I noticed every time I did, He did help me, and He did what I was asking for, and it was always the time when I needed something, and I felt a bit selfish in a way. Not that God minds, I'm sure He doesn't, but I decided to seek Him more and to find out more about God. So I started to read Him, and I read in Proverbs, lift up your voice for understanding, cry out with a loud voice. So I went out to a hill in the middle of nowhere and shouted up high to the heavens and made sure no one was around to hear me. And I said, I need understanding, please, God. Please give me understanding. And I left it there. And that same day, God showed me something as I was reading. And it was a piece of understanding from Him, from His Spirit. And it was like a seed, a mustard seed of faith, because it's like a jigsaw puzzle that just kept adding bits on, and it's lasted 30 years now, over 30 years, and it's provided me with hope, faith, and a sure hope, like a rock hope, an anchor. It's sad if you're killing yourself by just trusting in what someone's taught you or shown you or said to you, without knowing why, without understanding it, without comprehending it fully. Like, for example, everyone's waiting, they're teaching about the Antichrist that's got to come, or a money crash, economic crisis, or tribulation's going to happen, or the Lord's coming back. All these things you've heard of, but you might not understand it fully. Chuck it out the window and you go and seek and look for yourself and let God show you yourself. Because if you trust Him in what man has taught you, that's not faith, and that's not belief. Well, it's a vain belief, it's an unsure belief, because there's many things they're preaching out there. The common message, well, just mention some of them. Well, they're preaching about things to be that have already been. And what a vain show is that? Waiting for something that's already been. And if you're going by what they're saying, you're doing the same. So your hope's in vain. It's much more real, sure and true to find out yourself, to seek it out, and don't get it from third hand. There's a scripture in Jeremiah that says, cursed is the man that trusts in man. In other words, they've been looking to man for all their understanding and teaching and knowledge and everything. And then it says that person is like a dry tree in the wilderness, in the desert, like a dry tree, not knowing when good comes. So because you're looking to man, you'll miss something good that God has sent to you, because you're not experiencing your faith for yourself or believing for yourself with God, you and God. Your faith's not in God, your faith is in man and what they say, and it would be the good would have come and gone and you'd have missed it if you trusted in man. But it says also that blessed is the man or woman that is trusting in the Lord, because that person is like a tree that's planted by the river, that brings forth fruit in season and out of season. If you're going to believe in God, seek Him alone. He knows all about you. He knows He made you. He's been waiting for you to come to Him to ask His Spirit is all over the world. It's everywhere, and no one's keeping him too busy in one place. It's crackers that. He's omnipotent, which means he's everywhere. He knows the deep secrets of our heart. We can't hide anything from him. We can imagine to. If you're following men, you could adopt that mentality, as if he doesn't know about something. Oh, I hope he doesn't find out. This is all really silly once you understand that. But you'll find you'll always be deficient by being taught by men's ways. There's another scripture that says the way they teach is here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept, so that they may be snared, fall backwards and die. That's an event in the future, sometime. But there's another way to learn doctrine, that's from the Lord and His Spirit, which is here a little, there a little. And it says here a little, it means here a little in the new, here a little in the old, here a little there, here a little. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, line upon line, line upon line, precept upon precept. This is the best way. It takes time, but along the way, you'll be getting stronger, and that fearful, not knowing, doubting, hoping doctrine, just throw it out the window and start again with God. I mean, I know some people that actually have what they call is their belief, and they take pride in that, as if they've got that choice as a human being to have, which yes, of course they have, and you have to respect other people, but they don't know the things they say, and it doesn't make sense what they say, and they can't really explain what they say. They've just been told by someone what to believe, and it's like it's a pretending way. It's a phony way. What's the other word? It's a mocking way, copying. That's totally ridiculous, because you don't fool God. God knows everything. You're only fooling people if you think you are. But if someone knows the truth for themselves, it doesn't matter. They haven't got a fear of impressing people too much. But the person that hasn't got that in their heart, then they're like the wind can blow them off. They're not on a rock. Still looking for Antichrist. Still looking for this, that, and the other. The only Antichrist they're going to find is if they look in the mirror one day and be truthful to admit that they don't know God, and they've realised they've been playing around and pretending. It's just a waste of time, and there's no purpose for it, unless someone's really lonely and want to go and be friends with people in churches. Well, that's very sad. Anyway, I've done enough here. I'll just leave you with one word, one scripture from Proverbs and other places. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The beginning of wisdom is what God gives. It's God's Spirit. But the fear of the Lord is what Moses and the children of Israel did in the wilderness when God was speaking to them from the mount. God was speaking His words, and the people were terrified. They were fearing God's words. It was terrifying. They thought they were going to perish. So they pleaded with Moses to ask God to stop speaking and to just speak to them with words of from a man. And that's what He did. He commended them, and He said that He would raise up somebody from their own number that would speak to them as a man. And if anyone, that man would speak God's words, but as a man speaking. And anyone that wouldn't heed those words, God would require it, or they would perish. So they put themselves in a predicament of having to know who is speaking God's words or not. See? There's no doubt in it, with the great fire and the trumpet sound from the mount when God spoke to them, and they all feared the Lord then. And it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So now they have to discern and know who is speaking God's words. And it's like the partridge. The partridge steals other birds' eggs from the nest, and it incubates the eggs. As soon as the chicks they hatch, the partridge is feeding them and everything, but as soon as them chicks hear the original mother bird where they were hatched from, when they were come from, they leave the partridge to go back to mummy because they hear the voice. And the same with people that hear God's voice in people or from a particular person, and they'll listen to it, they'll hear it. They won't go to a stranger's voice. So anyway, that's the script I started. I'll end there. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Thank you very much. I've recorded this time.